Hi, I'm Gary Stuart, founder of the Constellation Healing Institute. It's great to talk to you today. My website's GaryStewartHealing.com. We got lots of information there. And the great thing about constellations, it can improve every area of life, whether it's health, romance, finance. It's just the catch-all modality, and everything actually boils down to consciousness. And once we're more conscious, we're more empowered. And if you want to be more empowered, try constellations. You will be very surprised at the results.
Hello, this is Michaela Passeri with Love You Revolution, and today I am here with the lovely Gary Stuart.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for having me here this weekend. It's been so much fun. And we actually did a constellation workshop. He did a constellation workshop this weekend, and I was one of his clients for the, I don't know, third or fourth time.
I know.
So there's a couple of questions that I want to ask you.
Absolutely.
So the first one is, a lot of people come to you because there's money flow issues.
Yes, absolutely.
And they find themselves frustrated with bringing in the money that they feel they deserve or that they want. So how can constellations really help them bring that in?
Great question. Well, lots of times there's things in our ancestral past that we're not aware of that affect us economically. Very often it's emotions. Believe it or not, it's emotions that stop us more than anything. There could be guilt and shame about something, and there also can be a way that you'd hurt someone's pride if you do better than them. So that's another guilt that keeps us lower rather than higher. And the great thing about constellations is we don't know what's going to come up, but we're exploring the invisible dynamics that you don't see that are stopping you. And the minute we release them, all that extra chi is at your disposal to really manifest your dream.
And I like what you said, because you said that it's the emotional. A lot of times it's grief and sadness and anger. But it doesn't necessarily have to be yours.
Right, exactly.
It could be your 10th generation ago, great grandfather or grandmother that has had that energy stuck, and then it just comes out in the constellation. So it's amazing. It's amazing stuff. Past lives show up, so you don't even know it's something from an energy that's been blocked there for past life. Well, cool. This is great.
It's about being more conscious, and once we're more conscious of something, we can be empowered, and we don't have to finish anyone else's life. Their life has come and gone, so that was their fate and destiny, and we can create our own fate and destiny because we all have that power, and constellations empower you to create your dream come true. Why bother otherwise?
Right, exactly. So I know that a lot of people come to you for lots of different reasons, but one of them is love and romance.
Yes, absolutely. It's
people are tired of attracting the wrong people or the same person in a different body over and over again, right? So how can constellation help people that are trying to find love?
Lots of times romantic patterns are set by our ancestors. So what's interesting, what's been coming up a lot lately is that someone was in love with someone else, but then they got pregnant and married someone else who they didn't love quite as much, but they did the right thing. And so it's kind of triangulation. So what we see is, even if that's not the case, the invisible broken relationships that happened before you met your current partner, that's male or female, and has almost like a shadow. It's like an invisible shadow that's affecting your love relationship. So with constellations, we get to see in the experience who's the missing one, who's the invisible one that's really affecting it. And if it is, say you had a bad breakup with somebody, we would put a rep in for that person so we could complete and get the lesson and create a healthy boundary. So you're not carrying that around. You've learned the lesson from that one, so you don't have to repeat it again. Very often we find that women specifically, more women come to me with that than men, is that there's a loyalty. If a woman suffers with a man, then every woman who comes later, I have to suffer with a man too, because grandma did, because this is what women do in romance. So we try to break that pattern too and honor the women that did suffer and didn't have their voice to say, hey, stop, I don't like this. Which we're giving women back their voice to be empowered, especially in a romantic relationship.
So it's basically like you're creating an energetic closure for the client for something that happened in the past, so that then they can, in their present life, then have an opening to then bring in the one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And a lot of people are afraid to be vulnerable, and what we find with romantic relationships is that there's a vulnerability and mistrust that's actually carried from other generations. Now, the great thing about it is we're giving women their voice, so they have the power to say yes or no, and that in and of itself is something new for the females of the family system. And I always empower women to get their voice back, to say what they want or don't want, so they don't have to repeat the mistakes of their great-grandmother or grandmother.
So Gary, I know that people come to you for a lot of different reasons, and we've talked about love and romance, we've talked about money, but people come also in regards to illness. Sometimes
absolutely.
There's something that they just can't shake. Doctors can't figure out what it is. It's something that's either chronic or that shows up all of a sudden. And so how can constellations help with preventing recurring illness?
Exactly.
Right?
Well, a lot of people are surprised what they're carrying that is actually affecting their health negatively. Usually it's emotions that are unprocessed, and so when we see the deeper emotions that they're actually processing during the constellation, it really lightens. I think it strengthens our DNA because the emotional baggage isn't pulling down or affecting the immune system. A lot of conditions I definitely want to say are inherited. So if you have multi-generational heart disease, multi-generational diabetes, something happened in our past that was never resolved, and it shows up transformed as a disease, and the family says we all have this disease. Well, if you go back in time, you see we all have grief, we all have sadness over an issue.
It starts with an emotion that then transforms into a physical manifestation of a
which
certain
is a
disease.
reaction to the unresolved emotion. Constellation, we go back to the source, resolve the emotion, and with a little bit of luck, your body will start releasing and healing, because that was the source of the dis-ease that started that way. So
well, and that's the beauty of releasing emotions, right? Where once you do release the emotion, you allow the body and the spirit to really heal itself. So it's beautiful work.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I've done several constellations with Gary, and it's always been amazing that comes through.
It's very deep.
It's very, very deep. Gary, I know that you help people with a lot of different issues.
You name it.
But one of them is people come to you, and I've come to you actually for interpersonal relationship. We won't say who.
Exactly.
We just did it actually.
I know,
yesterday. But to help clear, resolve, heal. What's in between relationships. Like whether it's arguing, whether it's not getting along, whether it's anger, resentment, judgments, whatever it is, right? So how does Constellation support people to really help them have amazing relationships with work, personal, romance, family,
exactly, Well, there's often a hidden dynamic. So sometimes there was a fight in the family system, and then the next generation is continuing the fight, whether it's over jealousy, insecurity, mistrust, or whatever. So it's very complex, but the great thing is constellations really simplify. You say, oh, that's what's really going on with that person. So we get to use a surrogate or someone in the room to be that brother, sister, boss, mother, father, grandparent who we never even met, and we see the dynamics or the tension between them. There's a lot of information in that tension, and in that tension is what Constellation get to expand and see where that tension comes from. And many times it has nothing to do with us. It's their reaction to something inside them that they're projecting on us. So a lot lately I've been working on triangulation, how somebody's kind of projecting onto somebody that doesn't even deserve it. And how often does that happen in business, personal family relationships, romantic relationships? It's all over the place. So this field is guiding me to explore triangulation more, because it's really a projection, and really what somebody says about you is more about them than you. The thing is, how do we explore the difference between that so you can maintain your own integrity and cut yourself off from the negative entanglement with them? Maybe still be friends or not be friends for a while, because who wants to be dumped on by anyone, especially if it's a family member?
And actually that's kind of what came through with my session yesterday, was this triangulation, that where somebody was projecting something on me, and then the relationship was very surface. Couldn't go deeper because of that projection of anger, mistrust, betrayal, whatever it was.
At the very least, we're going to understand it. We're going to see it from the outside rather than be stuck in it, and that objectivity will free us, if nothing else.
Well, what's the beauty of the work is that because it's all in the subconscious,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And when we bring it from outside of the subconscious and we bring it to the conscious, and all the conscious mind has to do is like, oh, that, connect the points.
Exactly.
Oh, that's why.
Right.
Ah, and then it just like, oh, I don't have to hold on to it anymore.
Exactly.
And so then it just dissipates. It just dissolves.
Exactly.
Right?
It's all about empowerment.
It's so simple.
I know.
But it's like, and it's beautiful and it's deep and it's amazing.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
And you're a master at it.
Oh, thank you very much. It's all about empowerment. And whatever you come to us with constellations, my website's GaryStewartHealing.com. There's tons of information there. But whatever you do, it can improve your life. And the best part is people not present will change as well, because you've changed the consciousness of the whole. I have a meme I put out there that's really good. Once something's whole, it's no longer a puzzle. So let us sort out the puzzle so you can be whole.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.